Have you heard some contractor horror stories from friends or family? We all have. So what can you do to avoid having the same thing happen to you? Hey there, I'm Bobby Moore, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to today's video where we're diving into a crucial topic: signs of a bad contractor. Now, if you're considering a home renovation or remodel, this information is absolutely vital to you. Let's face it, hiring the right contractor can make or break a project. A skilled professional contractor can turn your dream home into reality, while a bad one, well, let's just say it can quickly become a nightmare. That's why it's so important to know what red flags to look out for. In this video, we'll be exploring 12 telltale signs of bad contractors and how you can avoid them. Trust me, after 30 years in the real estate renovation game, I've seen it all. I'm here to share that knowledge with you so you can protect your home, your wallet, and your peace of mind. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's get started on safeguarding your renovation journey. Let's kick off with one of the most crucial aspects: documentation. You'd be surprised how many homeowners overlook this, but it's your first line of defense against bad contractors. First up, licenses and insurance. A reputable contractor should have both, no exceptions. Ask to see their license and verify it with your local licensing board. As for insurance, it protects you if something goes wrong on the job. Without it, you could be liable for accidents or damages. So before signing up with any contractor, make sure they can provide you a copy of current insurance. Next, let's talk contracts. A good contractor will always provide a detailed written contract. And let me say it one more time, you want detailed contracts that clearly state all the work items that they are going to do. If they're reluctant, try to work based on a handshake, that's a massive red flag. Remember, a solid contract protects both parties and sets clear expectations. Lastly, be wary of contractors who refuse to pull permits. Permits ensure that work is up to code and legally sound. A contractor avoiding permits might be cutting corners or lacking proper qualifications. Don't let them put your project at risk. Now, let's talk money. Always a sensitive topic, right? But when it comes to renovations, being savvy about finances can save you a major headache down the road. Be cautious of contractors demanding large upfront payments. While a deposit is normal, it shouldn't exceed 10 to 20% of the total project cost. If they're asking for more, it could be a sign they're in financial trouble, or worse, planning to take the money and run. Next up, cash-only deals. I know it might seem tempting. Who doesn't love a discount, right? But cash only often means no paper trail, no receipts, and no protection for you. It's also a common tactic used by unlicensed or uninsured contractors. Just say no. Lastly, watch out for vague or inconsistent pricing. Professional contractors should provide a detailed breakdown of costs. If they're being evasive or their prices keep changing without explanation, that's a red flag. Transparency is key in any successful renovation project. I was reviewing a client's quote last month and just kept shaking my head over the quotes. One contractor gave a lump sum figure for the total project cost. That was it. Another contractor quoted that they were providing a toilet and a vanity for the bathroom, but no specifics of either item or what the total dollar figure for those items were. The client hadn't picked out any items, so this could be a real issue once the client did look at products and wanted something different. Let's chat about communication. It's the backbone of any successful project. When it comes to your home renovation, you want a contractor who's as invested in the project as you are. I was getting quotes recently for a remodel, and one of the contractors that I was waiting on couldn't be reached with 2 phone calls, and there was no quote 4 days later. If that's the situation, then pass. My thought is, if they can't be quick and responsive when trying to get the job, what's it going to be like when they do have the job? Clear, timely communication is non-negotiable. Your contractors should be responsive to your calls, texts, or emails. They should keep you updated on progress, potential issues, and any changes to the timeline or budget. If you're constantly chasing them for information, that's a bad sign. Be wary of contractors who are difficult to reach. If they're dodging your calls or always too busy to talk, it could indicate they're overbooked, disorganized, or worse, hiding something. Watch out for frequent unexplained delays. While some delays are normal in construction, they should be communicated clearly and with valid reasons. If your contractor is constantly pushing back deadlines without explanation, it might be time to reconsider your choice. Remember, you're entrusting this person with your home and your hard-earned money. You deserve to be kept in the loop every step of the way. Now, let's talk about quality and professionalism. After all, you're not just paying for a service, you're investing in your home's future. First things first, always check references and past work. Good contractors should be proud to show off their previous projects and happy to provide references. If they're hesitant, that's a red flag. Don't be shy about reaching out to past clients. Their experience can be incredibly insightful. Next, be on the lookout for contractors using subpar materials. This is where your research comes in handy. Know what materials should be used on your project and make sure they're specified in your contract. If you notice cheaper alternatives being substituted without your approval, speak up. I just responded to somebody in a group I belong to on social media who was all upset that the level of insulation that was used on the project in her home was well below the quality that it should have been, that they had thought it would be, and that they had assumed was budgeted in. However, when I looked on the contract, there was nothing specified about it, and they were in a tough position to debate the issue or discuss or get any changes done with the contractor. I felt really badly for them, but this is an example of where you need to really spell out these details in your contracts. Lastly, pay attention to how they treat your home. Messy work sites are more than just an eyesore. They can be dangerous and indicate a lack of professionalism. A good contractor will clean up at the end of each day, protect your belongings, and show respect for your living space. Remember, true professionals take pride in their work at every stage of the project. Now that we've covered red flags, let's talk about how to avoid bad contractors altogether. Trust me, a little bit of homework up front can save you a world of trouble later. First up, thorough background checks. This goes beyond just Googling their name. Check your local Better Business Bureau. Look for any complaints or legal issues. Verify their license status with the city or state. It might seem like overkill, but trust me, it's worth it. Next, dive into online reviews and testimonials. But don't just look at the star rating. Read the detailed reviews. Look for patterns in terms of both positive and negative feedback. And remember, if something seems too good to be true, like all perfect 5-star reviews, it might be. Lastly, verify their credentials. This includes not just their licenses, like we mentioned above, but also any certifications or specializations they claim to have. Don't be afraid to ask for proof. A legitimate professional will be more than happy to provide it. Now, let's talk about the importance of documentation. I can't stress this enough. Get everything in writing. Start with a detailed written contract. This should cover everything from the scope of work, the materials to be used, to the payment schedule, and project timeline. If it's not in the contract, it's not guaranteed. Speaking of timelines, make sure you have clear project timelines and payment schedules. This helps keep the project on track and ensures you're not paying for work that's not been completed. Lastly, always insist on documented change orders. Changes are common in renovation projects, but they should always be agreed upon in writing, including any adjustments to the timeline or budget. This protects both you and the contractor from misunderstandings down the line. Finally, don't underestimate the power of your intuition. You know that gut feeling? Listen to it. Always insist on in-person meetings and estimates. This gives you a chance to assess the contractor's professionalism and communication style. Plus, an in-person visit allows for a more accurate estimate. Be wary of pressure tactics. A good contractor understands that you need time to to make decisions. If they're pushing you to sign immediately or make quick decisions, that's a red flag. Lastly, trust your gut feeling. If something feels off, even if you can't quite put your finger on it, it's worth paying attention to. Your instincts are often picking up on subtle clues that your conscious mind might miss. Remember, you're in charge of this project. Don't let anyone pressure you into a decision you're not comfortable with. Okay, so what if you've already hired a contractor and things aren't going well? Don't panic. There are steps you can take. First, document everything. Keep a record of all communication, take photos of issues, and maintain a timeline of events. This will be crucial if you need to take further action. Next, review the contract carefully. Understand your rights and the contractor's obligations. If they're in breach of contract, you have grounds, or you may have grounds, for termination. If direct communication isn't resolving the issues, consider mediation or legal action. Many areas have dispute resolution services specifically for contractor issues. As a last resort, you may need to consult a lawyer. You know, situations like these are exactly why I created the Home Renovation Remodeling Toolkit. It's designed to help homeowners like you avoid these costly issues and manage your renovations effectively. With the right tools and knowledge, you can save yourself from the stress and expense of dealing with bad contractors.
Ready to transform your home? Enroll in our renovation course today and start saving on your next project. Visit us at www.netgainrealestate.com.